Hash the last dollar. The morning light filtered through the tall windows of Murphy's Cafe, casting long golden rays across the wooden floors. Sarah Chen adjusted the strap of her worn leather messenger bag and checked her phone for the third time. 9:45. She had exactly 1 hour before the most important job interview of her life. The cafe buzzed with the gentle hum of morning conversations. Coffee cups clinked against saucers, and the espresso machine hissed softly in the background. Sarah found comfort in these familiar sounds. She had been coming to Murphy's every morning for the past 3 weeks, ever since she'd moved to the city. It was her quiet ritual before facing another day of job hunting. She reached into her bag and counted the bills in her wallet. $23. That was all that remained of her savings. After paying for rent, utilities, and basic groceries, this was literally her last bit of spending money until she found work. The weight of that reality settled heavily on her shoulders. Sarah had moved here with such hope. Her marketing degree and 2 years of experience at a small firm back home had seemed like enough to land something quickly. But the city was different. Competitive. Every position had dozens of qualified candidates, and her small-town experience suddenly felt inadequate. Today's interview was with Harrison Industries, a growing tech company known for treating its employees well. The marketing coordinator position wasn't glamorous, but it was exactly what she needed to get her foot in the door. She had researched the company thoroughly, practiced her answers, and even splurged on a professional outfit she couldn't really afford. The line at the counter moved slowly. Sarah watched the barista, a young man with kind eyes, work methodically through each order. When her turn came, she ordered her usual, a small coffee and a blueberry muffin. $6.50. She could make that last until evening if she was careful. As she waited for her order, Sarah noticed a man standing near the pickup counter. He was tall, probably in his early 30s, with dark hair and an air of quiet confidence. He wore a light blue button-down shirt and jeans, dressed casually but with attention to detail. There was something about his posture that suggested he was used to being in control, yet he seemed genuinely puzzled as he patted his pockets. The barista called out, "Turkey and avocado sandwich for Michael." The man stepped forward, his expression sheepish. "I'm so sorry," he said, his voice warm but embarrassed. "I thought I had my wallet, but I must have left it in my other jacket. Is there any way I could come back later to pay?" The barista, clearly new to the job, looked uncertain. I'm not sure. Let me ask my manager." Sarah watched as Michael's shoulders sagged slightly. She recognized that feeling of helplessness, of being caught off guard when you're already stressed. Without thinking, she stepped forward. "Excuse me," she said softly. "I can cover that for you." Michael turned, surprise flickering across his face. Up close, she could see he had kind brown eyes behind wire-rimmed glasses. "That's incredibly generous, but I couldn't ask you to do that." "You're not asking," Sarah replied with a gentle smile. "I'm offering. We've all been there." She handed the barista a $20 bill, leaving her with just enough for her own order and maybe a small tip. The sandwich cost $18, a significant portion of her remaining money, but something about this moment felt right. Michael accepted the sandwich with genuine gratitude. "Thank you so much. I'm Michael, by the way." "Michael Harrison." "Sarah Chen," she replied, not immediately registering the significance of his last name. "Just pay it forward sometime." "I absolutely will. And please, let me get your order too." Sarah shook her head. "That's not necessary, really." They talked for a few more minutes while Sarah waited for her coffee. Michael was easy to talk to, asking about her morning and sharing that he was rushing to an important meeting. There was something grounded about him, despite his obvious success. His clothes were expensive but understated, and he listened with genuine attention when she spoke. "I should let you get to your meeting," Sarah said when her order was ready. "Thank you again for this," Michael said, holding up the sandwich. "Your kindness probably saved my entire morning." Sarah smiled and gathered her things. She had her own important meeting to prepare for. An hour later, Sarah sat in the sleek lobby of Harrison Industries, reviewing her notes one final time. The building was impressive, all glass and steel with modern artwork on the walls. She felt a flutter of nerves but also excitement. This could be the fresh start she needed. "Sarah Chen." A receptionist appeared with a warm smile. "Mr. Harrison is ready to see you." Sarah's steps faltered for just a moment. Harrison. The name echoed in her mind, but surely it was a coincidence. Harrison was a common name. The receptionist led her down a hallway lined with floor-to-ceiling windows. Mr. Harrison just took over as CEO last month, she explained conversationally. He's been personally interviewing for key positions. Says he wants to build the right team from the ground up. They stopped at a corner office with glass walls. Sarah could see a figure inside, but the morning light created a glare that obscured the details. The receptionist knocked gently. "Come in," came a familiar voice. Sarah's breath caught as the door opened and she stepped inside. Behind the large oak desk, rising with a surprised but delighted smile, was Michael. The same Michael from the cafe. The same man whose lunch she had bought with her last $20. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The morning sun streamed through the windows behind him, and Sarah could see the same kindness in his eyes that had drawn her to help a stranger just hours before. "Well," Michael said finally, his voice filled with warmth and something that might have been wonder. "This is unexpected." Sarah felt her cheeks flush. "I had no idea." "Please, sit down," Michael said, gesturing to the chair across from his desk. "Though I have to say, Sarah, you've already demonstrated the exact qualities we're looking for in this position." As Sarah settled into the chair, she realized that sometimes the most important investments we make aren't in our careers or our futures, but in simple moments of human kindness. Her last $20 had bought more than a sandwich. It had bought her a chance at a new beginning. The interview that followed was unlike any she'd experienced. They talked about marketing strategies and company culture, but underneath it all was the foundation of mutual respect that had been built over a turkey and avocado sandwich and a moment of generosity between strangers. When Michael offered her the position at the end of their conversation, Sarah knew that her real journey in the city was just beginning. And it had all started with the simple decision to help someone she'd never expected to see again.